Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Friday, March 30th, so we're back on track. We had a awkward Thursday stream because of an awkward Wednesday stream in which an insomnia incident caused me to basically fall asleep as I was streaming. So, we're on the Asian account. We have this 40 win 2 victories with Shaman and Warlock setup, and the thing here is that we just don't really, we need to do that one thing and that's kind of it. Today could be a pretty short stream if it weren't for all the backlog of games that came out on Steam. So playing on the Asian account, I'm learning that, wow, that was a long load. I could certainly do this and try to get something, and we'll give it a try, but I'm learning that more often than not, you're better off using the basic recipes for the Asian account since it's such a new account. I'm having to realize and give up the idea that I know how to make decks at all that will win. At least I know how to maybe make decks that that there will be interesting and different to me, but that doesn't easily translate into actually winning. So we're in a weird position with that because I don't have, I don't know what I'm really gonna do when the new expansion comes out. I'll probably make half interesting decks and half standard recipe decks. Although I won't be using standard recipes, I'll be using Hearthstone hsreplay.net, which is integrated to the Hearthstone deck tracker app here, to tell me directly what is the best decks that my collection can make. See, these are all overload cards, so probably no reason to play this right now. There's a game called Quadro, Quaddro 2. It came out March 30th from Mental Lab Studio. It's the only game they've released on Steam, which says something odd because then why is it a 2? It's 15% off for $1.69. Also, if I sound a little bit loud, there's two reasons for that. One, my ears are a little bit clogged up, and two, I turned down the master volume some more. I love my Yeti microphone, which I think it's a blue Yeti, not the Snowball. Yeah, that's right. But it just does not, for my setup, make it sound the way other people hear it. Like, the content when I'm streaming, the content when I'm recording is the desktop audio is a lot louder than the microphone audio, but the feedback that I hear with the headphones plugged in directly into the bottom of the Blue Yeti does not coincide with that at all. So I don't know what to do there to fix it, other than just getting a different microphone, which I can't really flippantly do that. I guess this could be Quadro Squared. It could be the name of this game. Seems like it's a puzzle game where you drag around dots trying to make squares. It says it's rated E from everyone. You know, I should probably just stop at that point. If somebody is gonna lie, because we know it's a lie, we're almost 100% certain that the SRB did not rate this game that's showing up on Steam out of nowhere by some no-name person. I should probably just stop there and not buy the game, because if they're willing to lie there, there's really nothing trustworthy with this company. It's not a company you really want to give your business to. Ignoring that idea, this puzzle doesn't look awful as a puzzle game. It's not something that's going to keep your attention for very long. but it's got a lot more here than a lot of other games. Apparently you can make 3x3 squares too. And there's like dots that you can drag the other dots on, but then there are areas where there are no dots, so you have to do other things. Doing all this taunt attacks and not getting my unbound elemental out there. Yeah, this doesn't look like a terrible game, but I still can't recommend it for no reviews and no user reviews and just no credibility on the company's part. I need to definitely figure out also a way to speed up the process of looking at games, and trying to balance that with considerably fewer articles now. Apparently Arc System Works is going to announce a new seemingly RPG game on April 1st. This might be an April Fool's Day, or it might not, because it's not like the Japanese companies celebrate April Fool's Day that much. And maybe now we can get on the path. Let's see. Some more information came out for Dragon Quest Builders 2, which looks like it's a Japanese game right now, where no guarantee that it's coming to the West, although there's a decent chance. If it does, it will come to the West on the PlayStation 4 and Switch, like it's coming to Japan there. Not really a great article here. This is one of these articles that they do where it's like, we know the subtitle of the game is going to be the protagonist and the setting, which is actual news to report, but very possibly not worthy of being mentioned. Let's see, if we do this and then do this and cross our fingers. Didn't quite get as much as I would have liked.
Elements guide me.
Let's see. A game came out called Snail Trek Chapter 4: The Final Fondue. This is an interesting, like, Star Trek reference. Let's see. In fact, it's by a developer who's got the entire an entire series of games called Snail Trek, which is an interesting idea. So it's Snail Trek Chapter 1, Interstellar, Snail Trek 2, A Snail of Two Worlds, and Snail Trek 3, Let Us Be, and The Final Fondue. See, the thing here is, if they're going to do a Star Trek reference, I don't think they're doing enough of a Star Trek reference. Because I believe Star Trek 1 was called The Final Frontier, and Star Trek 2 was The Wrath of Khan, and Star Trek 3 was The Search for Spock, I believe, and Star Trek 4, what was Star Trek 4? Maybe that was called The Final Frontier? I don't remember. Star Trek 4, I think, is the one where they go back in time. Then Star Trek 6
Job's done.
might be Generations. And I couldn't tell you with any accuracy the Next Generation movies after that in the order. So, like, I'm not the biggest of Star Trek movie fans, so I don't know the order either. But this is the latest version of this, and this literally looks like a snail version of one of the old Sierra type in adventure games. It's got that CGA animation style. I mean, this really is a callback for people who would love to play a new Sierra game. And this says it came out March 29th, 2018. I almost wonder if this was if somebody had told me that this actually came out in the 80s for PCs and they were just re-releasing it, I'd certainly believe that. Alright, so we've got to kill this one and this one and we go ahead and play this to just be careful. I guess we could just... Nope, can't do that in the turn. The description of Snail Track is relive 1980s nostalgia with this text parser driven graphic adventure. Yeah. This is crazy. And you can get the whole series. It's 15% off for 84 cents. And you could get the whole series for $2.28 with 42% off. Thank you. As a positive review, both the reviews are positive. They're selling a very odd thing here, certainly. And you really couldn't translate this into a modern game too much. The text parser thing. And I couldn't really play a game like this. I've often wanted to see if there was a way to do speed runs by recording text inputs into a game like this via the ScumVM engine. That way I could just hit like a button, hit the shift button, and it would type in the right answer, because that's really the only way I could play a game like this. And I've got to sign back into Steam because, well, no real reason.
Is someone injured?
And that's one victory. Let's see. Gotta sign into Steam over here with the authenticator. Steam has put a hold now on Counter-Strike Go skins. Therefore, you cannot quickly turn around and trade CSGO skins right after you buy them in an effort to slow down, if only slightly combat, like CSGO skin gambling. So I'm gonna follow this game, Snail Trek, Chapter 4, the Final Fondue. Just because I kind of want to. It's a shame, I guess. He started in December 12th, 2017 releasing these games. Or, no, November 30th, 2017 releasing these games. So maybe this person actually will go on to do something bigger and better later on in his career. So I wanted to just play as this Murloc deck just to keep it spicy, you know? Don't want to do an overload deck back and forth. That's not an article worth working. So Screen 7 has been retweeting this, that a game called Kinky Island. Has backer repayments available from April 2018, and apparently Indiegogo is this Indiegogo project for a point-and-click adventure game called Kinky Island that looks a lot like Monkey Island as I'm looking at the pictures of their development. Yeah, this is kind of exactly what I would want, is something like a spoof of Monkey Island. There's enough room certainly for this. I think what they're doing is calling it Kinky Island is gonna be, it's gonna have some Leisure Suit Larry type jokes in it. Although it's still gonna have like a low pixel count blocky graphics, so. And let's see. One day ago,
back to your homes.
Read more. He posted, "Hi folks, this is to let you know that all backers will be entitled to a repayment from early April. You will be able to reclaim your pledge amount until the end of 2018. The main reason is because I understand this game has taken far too long since its Indigo campaign to see the light of day, but please understand." Let's play a little bit of this. I'm gonna freeze this one and kill this one. I'm gonna kill this one. Development of the game does and will continue. Pledge rewards will not be affected. You will still get a copy of the game and other rewards. We are still paying the £2,000 you originally pledged for art, etc. Full info will be here as kinkyisland.co.uk at kinkyisland.co.uk and sent via email very soon. Pledges under 25 will be repaid in one payment. Pledges over 25 may be repaid over 2 or 3 installments. We'll continue to work on the game, but it is a slow burn for numerous reasons, including art delays, let's see. Including art delays, changing development interest, and the very nature of the game in today's gaming fray. I'll explain further when the full info on repayments is put out. If you want to get a head start, drop an email to this email address, screen7help@gmail.com, titled Kinky Island Pledge or such, and write your name and email address and when you pledge so I can verify with Indiegogo payments info. And from there I should be able to get you the amount paid back. If you paid via PayPal, you will need to tell me your PayPal email address. Otherwise, folks, follow the instructions. Blah 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 blah. So Screen 7, if you don't know, and you probably wouldn't, is involved with the Cat Lady point and click game, and let's see, that's kind of all you would know from him. And
reporting for duty.
So he raised on this Indiegogo, it seems like $2,592 to make this new game, and he wanted $2,000 for a flexible goal on Indiegogo. And I guess in the end he found that he had enough money to not need to go in this direction. And so he's giving the money back, and it's kind of killing me right now is I want to say this guy is a good guy, but I don't know this guy. like, I get the impression he's a good guy. I like his work. This is the first instance I've ever seen of a video game developer ever giving any money back from any Kickstarter or Indiegogo, while also still saying they're still gonna continue developing it. There's several more. There's like 3 more paragraphs here explaining what he's doing. The big bold text here says no one should feel scammed over a goofy game. Like, he's being so considerate here to not just disappear and feel like he ripped people off. There was 51 backers to this game, so it wasn't a successful Indiegogo in the first place, but that's nice. If it could be also that he was getting some flack for not releasing games. The last development update was 5 months ago after this update today, so there has been a considerable amount of time. I wouldn't be surprised if some kind of legal person got to them and said you should pay them all back and just let somebody else publish it. It's a little strange that you would even go for such a little amount of money to fund a video game, even as a single or small point-and-click adventure game company, because honestly, he seems like you could have gotten a loan at a bank for $2,000 pretty easily. Just a signature loan with no business plan needed, no real credit or anything like that. Well, you do need credit, but not you wouldn't have to put your house up or your car up. Well, geez, that was an easy thing. This glitch has been happening where it shows you this twice, but you don't get it twice, so don't worry. Like, I only got 4 extra packs, and we'll be opening at least 60, probably 65 packs on this account alone. That's all we needed to do on the Asian account. The European account is going to be the one that's going to take most of the time today. On the other hand, if I could try really hard to make this scenario that sounds really good sound bad, with him refunding all the money and still giving all the backer rewards. So basically, he got a short-term loan for free, which arguably maybe that is something you can do without actually promising to do that. We need to win 3 games of any class, and we need to win 5 games of any class in any mode, which means I can cheat it and play the solo adventure dungeon runs if I need to. But right now I'm actually still... We've got a little bit of time. If I can get 2 victories, that would be nice. On just 2 victories on ranked, playing mage, which is the basic of basic cards, and this is the basic of basic decks. There's really 2 ways a Kickstarter campaign fails. They take in a bunch of money, or well, I guess it doesn't matter how much money they take. They take your money and they don't deliver the product, or they do deliver the product and it's less than what you what you wanted, or different from what you wanted. I suppose in this instance he took people's money for a while, got an interest-free loan off of it, and then paid them back. Jeez, if I'm just gonna get quick victories, I'm not gonna be able to editorialize or have an opinion on anything. Moving on, there's a story called Origami Nightfall, which introduces new characters, powers, and complex scenarios. It's apparently PS4 and PC. There's this trailer. Let's try that again, I suppose. It's got a nice looking cel shaded art style. It kind of looks like if you were going to do a new Mark of the Ninja with the camera zoomed in a lot more. There's a female ninja and a male ninja working together. They have some kind of technology that makes their backs glow, and they have some kind of magic that they're also playable in co-op or single player. The thing about going 3D, like, was there a game just called Origami that came out relatively recently? Like 3 or 4 months ago? I think there was. And this might be DLC or a spin-off of that. Interesting. Because there wasn't a... Let's see. Wow, they're saying Origami Air arrived October 2016. Wow, that's almost a year ago. And now they're going to bring in a sequel that's probably going to be a little bit better. I appreciate people trying on new intellectual property instead of just having the same,
the light dims,
like just the same new gameplays, new games that fail, and then you don't do anything different with your next new game. I heard someone talking about like Heavenly Sword, and Heavenly Sword just like did not ever get a chance to have a sequel, which it would have been hard to have a sequel or a prequel, but there was really no talk about it at all. And that's kind of a shame because I love that game, but apparently the person that was talking about it said it was actually critically panned for being too samey. Which is just more evidence that most video game critics don't seem to know what they were talking about, or probably never did. I'm looking at a game called Game Career Tycoon. It has 8 reviews. It's by Raptor Claw Games, which has made another game called Gladiator School that's mixed reviews, and Pro Gamer Manager. They want $8.09 with 10% off for Game Career Tycoon, Gamer Career Tycoon. It looks very much like it is just one of those games. There's nothing really wrong with these, but there's nothing special about these. And you know you're starting from a lazy idea to begin with, because it is just a simulator tycoon style game trying to appeal to people who want to be gamers. Let's scroll down to the reviews. Let's see, recommended, not recommended, roughly 4 to 5 hours of game, 5 to 6 hours of gameplay. Gameplay is self-explanatory. You start with 2 different paths, being an esports or a streamer. You can do both as well. You can upgrade your internet, PC, mouse, headset, webcam, etc. Once you've saved up a lot of money, you unlock options to open your own esports company. You can have up to 5 teams and send them off in tournaments, hire and fire players and managers. Let's see. Overall, here's another recommendation, not recommended. Overall, nice idea, but the game is very unbalanced in terms of scaling. I was earning $500,000 a week just from streaming just after like 2 hours of gameplay, and the game startup is poorly optimized. I think inherently you're probably sending out a very false message too, that any random person can just in 2 hours or a couple of days become a streamer that's earning $500,000 a week. There was shock when we heard that one streamer was making $500,000 a week, and with the assumption there is not very many people, maybe 4 or 5 other people are making that much. Maybe not, maybe there's 100 people making that much, but not everybody. The review ends far from being a game dev tycoon, and I guess that's the thing, is game dev tycoon is being recommended here, and it's $10, and this is $8.09. Why in the world would you buy this knockoff game? Let's see. Like, knockoffs just shouldn't be bought at all. Next game we have is called Digital Diamond Baseball. It is the only game by this developer. It's 15% off at $13.59. That's quite a lot. And it looks like a management sim for baseball. We certainly don't need another one of those. No reviews, clearly. Nobody's gonna put in. Lying about getting an E for everyone review rating. Like, that's the next thing I think Steam really needs to start cracking down on, is people who are completely lying about whether they're ESRB certified or not. There's a game called Fatal Velocity Physics Combat. It has 1 review. It's Range +1, which this is their only game. It's 30% off for $9.09. It doesn't look bad at all. It looks like it's probably a test demo asset flip of something. Like, seems like you're jumping around a bunch of floating platforms and islands and swinging and hovering with some kind of electronic rope. Let's see.
Bring the pain.
Just gonna keep smashing people. So I've been watching this, well, this actual feminist, the second wave feminist, talk about women in games, and she's not annoying because she's not being obnoxious and bringing up some interesting ideas. And it doesn't matter. Her name is Leona K, and I'm sure somebody's gonna eventually tell me that, oh yeah, there's something wrong with her, that she scammed people into funding her YouTube series, or she's said a bunch of crazy things or something else. But right now, on my knowledge, she seems like she's at least not annoying. And she brought up an interesting thought in my head, that without even really saying anything. In these first-person perspective games where the character that you're playing as is really just a human suit, it's kind of surprising games haven't adopted a different skin tone for the fingers. Like, that is the easiest of easy ways to be inclusive. Just have in the menu, I want my hands and fingers to be white hands, black hands, pale Asian hands. You know, you can have certainly several different types of melanin in there, and you don't have to make a full character. You don't have to make different body models if you're just showing hands. I imagine if I was to pay attention a little bit more, I bet there's a decent number of games where you're just always wearing gloves for that reason, too, in first-person perspective games.
Versus Jaina.
You asked for it. Oh, it is on.
So yeah, that's something I think anybody could do easily, just as an asset on Steam and Unity and Unreal's asset stores. Here's a 12-pack of different skin-toned hands. They're all exactly the same, they just have skin tone differences. Looking at this game with the first-person perspective in hands reminded me of that. That's why I mentioned it. It looks like it's an asset flip of a tutorial. It's multiplayer only, online multiplayer, single multiplayer, early access. It's too expensive. It's just a physics game. There's a decent number of recommendations here, but I really don't. Like 9 positive, no negative reviews, so I don't trust him. Like, alright, we're just gonna do this and then return. Because this is like a Gary's Mod type game, and that's what's selling it as, I can't recommend it. It may get people's attention, but as it stands right now, I prefer to not recommend a game like that doesn't have any games. Galgun 2 has its first costume DLC. Now it's worth mentioning that Galgun is one of the games on Steam that has the most expensive collection of DLC possible. I believe it was somewhere around $340 worth of DLC for different costumes, and Galgun is the game where you run around and shoot anime girls with your heart gun. Yeah, I don't really want to waste the coin just to do that, particularly since this might be counterspell. So Galgun 2 is also going to have a large collection of that. The 3 costumes, and this first one barely qualifies as under the phrase costume. It is Babu Bubbles, and that's B-A-B-U, so that's probably a Japanese way of saying bubble, or a baby talk way of saying bubble, and it's this slightly younger looking anime girl that's literally just being covered up by bubbles with a rubber ducky on her shoulder and a pacifier in her mouth. So that's about as nearly nude as you probably could get on Steam. The next one is Bewitching Nan piece. Nan being the sound the cat makes in Japanese. So this is a bewitching cat outfit, which is a ruffled blue dress with a cutout in the chest of a cat that's not really exposing too much of a bust. Not that this anime girl has much of a bust to expose, and cat ears and cat hair clips, and I believe a tail. And then the third one is Sexy Bikini, which doesn't actually look like a sexy bikini. It looks like a rabbit girl in a rabbit girl from like the Playboy dress up things that I guess they don't even do. So, alright, well, you know what you're getting with Galgun, so there's really nothing you can complain about any of this. The biggest complaint you can make with Galgun 2 is why is there not some reciprocity here? Why isn't there a guy gun series? Moving on, there's a game called Lazy Devil's Game Life. It came out March 30th. It's the only game by this developer. It's 30% off for 69 cents. It looks like an RPG Maker game. And English language is not supported. And
What to
this.
do? What to
And
do?
this. And
Job's done.
let's see. There's one Japanese language recommended, one Japanese language not recommended, one recommended, one not recommended, and another not recommended. So it's like 3 not recommended to 2 recommended for this RPG Maker JRPG game, tagged with sexual content. Although, like, honestly, when you're making a lazy RPG Maker game like this, I wouldn't be surprised if you intentionally put in one scene just to get that tag. You'll get more sales that way than trying to be something different. Just trying to be a regular RPG game. Next game we have is called Lethal Lawns Competitive Mowing Bloodsport. Interesting name. It's by a company called Dime Studios, which made one other game called Blockopolis. No discount for Lethal Lawns. It is $4.99. It came out March 30th. And it looks like it might be a little bit more than an asset flip, but almost certainly all of these are not assets made by this developer. 4 players running around driving lawnmowers, and when they hit other players they can shoot them up in the lawnmower and leave a bloody mess behind. Let's see, single player, multiplayer. It's kind of in the vein of Gang Beasts, but with lawnmowers. I think the lawnmower, as being the main gameplay mechanic, is a little crazy. It does also, I suppose, give this Splatoon vibe, because when you cut down the grass, it's leaving the grass as a specific color, so you see which player has cut down more grass.
Job's done.
Let's see. Apparently there's up to 8 players that can play between 4 controllers, sharing gamepads. Well, like, that'd be insane. I think this is crazy. Crazy idea to go above 4 players locally. With no reviews and looking at it though, I still think you'd probably do better with Gang Beasts. What it's adding with the Splatoon element on lawnmowers, and the lawnmower being the main and if not only weapon, it really looks like it's the only weapon, and that kind of hurts the game, because there certainly would have been opportunity for other kinds of weapons, even lawn themed, like lawn darts, you know, benches, tables, planted pots, all kinds of different weapons you can have that would have different effects.
Right all along.
So no, I can't recommend that one. Next game we have is called Raturgy. Came out March 30th. No reviews. It's the only game by this developer. It's 25% off at $2.99. What is this game offering? Now this definitely looks like an asset flip of it looks like it might be some kind of puzzle game, like Incredible Machine, but rat, built around the idea of a rat.
Are you ready for this?
I should have attacked this guy while he was still at 0. Come to think of it. Because now I'm just going to lose. Well, I'm going to lose either way, so it didn't matter. Seems like it's too expensive a game to roll the dice on. And the graphics would have looked good in the mid-80s, maybe even early 90s PC games, but now they don't look that good. And for any game that is going to be like The Incredible Machine and have a bunch of different puzzles, I suspect it would need a bunch. But now I'm looking at it, it actually says it's multiplayer only. And local multiplayer only like that. So it doesn't seem like there actually are any puzzles. Which then I'm confused about what kind of game this is. Maybe it just gives you some maybe it's like Ultimate Chicken Horse or something where the players place the elements like the conveyor belts. Again, a game can't recommend, which is going to always be a consistent theme when you're looking at every single game on Steam. Let's see. There's this game called Black Clover Quartet Night that Gamatsu has a screenshot of. It's this lady with a sword that she's like putting lightning magic into. And I want to see this. Now I believe Black Clover is an anime. So this wouldn't surprise me if this is an anime based game. Which typically they're not the greatest. With Dragon Ball FighterZ being, I guess, a notable exception. Yeah, they're showing me a whole collection of characters I don't recognize because I haven't ever seen Black Clover. And it seems like it's a hack and slash game with team RPG elements. But it's like no turn-based fighting, real fast running and jumping, something like what you would do to a modern version of Quake arena shooter type game. They're showing off a treasure hunt mode where you're running and jumping looking for this treasure specifically. Excuse me. Well, Black Clover Quarter Nights is due worldwide for the PS4 and PC in 2018. In Japan, it will only be released for the PlayStation 4, which that's an odd way to do things. There definitely would need to be more than just this treasure hunt mode, which is all they're talking about right now, for people to want to play it. And frankly, I haven't heard a lot of people talking about Black Clover, so I'm not sure if it's a really popular title or not. Doesn't seem like it is. Gamasutra has an article called "More Than Orcs in Space, Devs Measure the Enduring Influence of StarCraft." The original version of StarCraft, I believe, is 25 years old now. And it's the continuation of the developers who made Warcraft, not World of Warcraft, the real-time strategy game Warcraft, and they wanted it to they wanted to do some different things and not be locked into just always making orcs versus human games. This is an article that would be interesting, but also it's not an article that is a very much loving retrospective to an old game that doesn't have any real validity here. What would make it news is if StarCraft was on sale in some way. I mean, StarCraft effectively is free, but to get all of the content, I believe you still have to pay some amount of money. So if they were to give away the whole game, the complete collection for free, that would be cool. If they would put it on sale, that'd be cool. Certainly, I would like all of those on my Blizzard Battle.net accounts, since my Warcraft copies and StarCraft copies are sitting in some box in some garage somewhere. So who knows if I could actually install the game from that disc. There's another game called Vikings Drakkars, D-R-A-K-K-R-S. It is awful looking. It is one of at least 8 pretty bad looking games. It's a fake game from almost certainly, because the person who released this game also released a game called Crypto Monies, misspelling monies, I believe. Well, whether it's a fake game or not, it's an awful looking game, and I certainly wouldn't pay the 66 cents they're looking for right now for it, and nobody else has reviewed it. Like, cheap MS Paint looking graphics, not worth your time. And that's from Azimut Team, AZIMUT Team. There's still a big problem for people just flooding Steam with garbage games, and there being no mechanism to recognize and see those things. Gamer Citro has an article. Submissions are open for the 15th annual Into the Pixel Game Art exhibit. So maybe we'll be able to see that. Yeah. There actually is, if you go intothepixel.com, www.intothepixel.com, there's a /artwork/index.asp. There's a way you can look at each of these art exhibits and see these pictures, and that is cool, I suppose. Like, not too much what you could really do with that. Maybe make a fashionable background on your PC. Since it's really just an art exhibit of almost fan art, it doesn't really have too much to do with video games. It's just fan art. I imagine you could find quite a few Twitter artists and DeviantArt artists and Tumblr artists that make exclusive video game fan art, if not exclusive to a specific game. Let's see, Gamancer has an article, Level 5 CEO, all future main titles will be released for Switch. Which I guess tells you that the 3DS is out. With Toys R Us going out of business, I was certainly thinking about what would be the ideal amount of discount for a Nintendo Switch. I haven't really given any thought to getting a Nintendo 3DS. I suppose if 3DSs were really cheap, that would maybe make sense, but since the Switch is also portable, I can't really buy into that.
Reporting for duty.
Like, there are actual games on the Nintendo Switch I want to play. I cannot even begin to pretend like I can name even a single 3DS game I'd want to play. There's probably a Mario RPG game out there or something. Like, something that would lock into place in my head and go, oh yeah, that's something I would like to I'd like to play, but I bet there's less than 5 of them. I'm trying to see what level 5's games are and if they are listed here as far as what games level 5 have released. Let's see. Inazuma 11, Ares, The Snack World, Frenzy Life 2, Yokai Watch for smartphones, which that'll be interesting. Lady Layton, which I don't think that's the actual name of that game. Ultimate Hero. So a heavy Japanese developer, certainly. But it's the beginning, certainly, of the end for the 3DS, when someone is publicly willing to say they're not going to make 3DS games anymore. And it seems like that is very much what they're going to do. I tried to click cancel there, and it connected me so fast. That is a little funny. It's another game called Pilfer. 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 It's the only game by this developer, 40% off for 59 cents. It looks like a student project. The art's not terrible. Looks like a platformer. Of course, when I say it looks like a student a student project, there is this element of lowered expectations. So I'm saying it looks good for a student project. It actually looks pretty terrible for a game, and it's not really something I'd want to probably play for 60 cents. If I'm going to play a platformer, I want to play something that really is recognizable and known.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Jeez, I played wrong there. There's one negative review for this game. Completed in 10 minutes, got all achievements in this time. To get a perfect game, it is an easy thing. While it was nice to play, it's too short to recommend. Yeah, I wouldn't pay 60 cents for 10 minutes of entertainment. I just wouldn't. This is a game that should not have been allowed on Steam. It should have been a free thing on a different service, even if Valve owns that different service. Like, this is too short, too simple. They need a minimum 2-hour experience, and the refund element is not working as much as it probably should. Like, I'm not sure people feel like it's the right thing to do. Well, it probably is the right thing to do, to get a refund for a game that's less than 2 hours after they've played the game, even if they had fun. Like, because that does feel real slimy. But in the end of the day, I think we need to punish, I think we as consumers need to punish people who are making such short products and selling them for any amount whatsoever. Like, I met these games that are 10 minutes long and going for 60 cents, or just a couple hours long and are going for 60 cents, are the equivalent of somebody, a mime on the street. Like, people should be tossing money into the hat, not the mime demanding 60 cents from everybody that's walking by and happens to watch them mime for a second. We need higher standards than that. And it's very possible that the only way we're going to ever get higher standards than that is by
Tokai kill test bosses.
By underpaying people that make short games. So next game is called Otaku's Fantasy 2, O-T-A-K-U if you don't know how to spell Otaku. It's rated very positive, 81% of 53 users, came out March 30th. It has nudity adventure RPG. Let's see, the developer has also released, let's see, several other games that I imagine are all sex games. This one seems like it's all in Japanese, at least on the screenshots. The animation's not great. It's got some of that lower visual novel quality animation. Single player only. Full audio in Japanese and subtitles for Chinese and English. It's 40% off for $1.19, and there's a whole bundle here, including Otaku Fantasy 1, which honestly that one looks better. This is a novel RPG. I think that probably means it's a visual novel. Let's see. And the one English review gives it positive. And I guess I'd have to look at the 12 negative reviews. But all the 12 negative reviews are in Japanese. So for one that's in German. It's too long to try and muddle through German to figure it out. Yeah, there's nothing here that you... I mean, honestly, these screenshots aren't showing anything at all. One is just a screenshot of an arrow. One is just a screenshot of a nut with the same forest background and the same text dialogue in Japanese. There's nothing here. If their screenshots are this bad, I don't think you can trust this game to give you anything you'd want. So yeah, don't fall for the scams. Let's see, where are we now? We need 3 victories, but we can squeeze out at least 2 of those after I get the next victory to get this done. And we've been going about an hour, so this is a good time to break it up. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below in the description. If you want to support me, gift me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.